everybody, it's me, Vic. Today we're going to actually start talking about Streamlabs OBS and a lot of the different configurations that you can do. There's an array of things you can do that you cannot do in regular OBS. But the first thing we're going to talk about is if you are a user of OBS like myself and you're transitioning from OBS to Streamlabs OBS, the first thing we're going to talk about is importing your file. So let's get to it. All right, so you're going to see all of this stuff on the screen here. And what I'm going to do is actually pull up the settings. And the first thing we're going to talk about is where it says OBS import under the general tab. Like literally the moment you open it, it's going to say OBS import. This is already if you've opened up Streamlabs and you're just trying to figure things out, then yes, you're going to have to go to general to do the OBS import. For the very first time that you actually sign in, whether it's through your Twitch or Facebook or YouTube, you actually get prompted to configure everything and to import automatically. But if you skip it and you want to come back and say, you know what, I love the way I have my OBS layout set up, I don't want to have to go through all of that again, then you can actually just go to General under Settings. Remember, you're going to click the cogwheel here, and then you're going to click on OBS Import, and you get to choose whichever profile you want. Mine's already set up, so we're just going to go ahead and ignore that. How do I go back? You know what? We'll just do test. It'll probably put it on a brand new one. It's fine. I wish they had a back button for that. Oh well. You get to see it live. All right. Oh, no way. It copied what I'm doing now. How funny. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and just, and there. All right, so it was basically catching a double window, and you can see that here's all my audio stuff. Let's make this bigger. So there's my webcam, right? And it does have a speaker, and what I'm going to do is hide it because I never unmute it. My alerts, alerts do come through, and I want my audience to hear it, so I'll leave that if I need to. But to be honest, I can actually mute it because you can see everything coming through the mic aux, and that's actually configured with my Wavelink. So I'm actually going to hide this because if the alerts come through, it'll still come through here. For those who do not have Wavelink and they have a game capture, their game capture will actually have the music coming here. When you see these bars, as you notice, I'm going to talk, right? So if I stay in the green, that's good. If I go to yellow, that's almost really loud. And if I go into the red, it's super loud. So if you want to reduce the volume that you're outputting to your viewers, you can actually lower this. So that way you're always in the green and at a decent decibel. I wanted to talk about that because I have noticed some streams where I go and I watch and I hear them super loud, or I'll hear their game super loud and I can barely hear them at all. So make sure that you're within the green. Yellow is actually okay. But red, you are way too loud. You don't want to be in the red. All right. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and click mute on that for now. So that way we can just continue. All right. Let's see. I'm going to go back to my other setup, which is called Any over here. So here's a cool thing about Streamlabs OBS. You can actually come here to your... Wait, this isn't the right one. You can come here to where it's under Manage All. And I just did this one. Like I said, this wasn't supposed to actually come through. And I can delete it. But you can also come here and import from OBS too. So there's more ways than one to do what you want to do. So we're going to go back to settings and we're going to talk about setting up. So you see I'm logged into my Twitch account. If I log out, it's going to ask me to sign in between YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. If you've never used Streamlabs, you can actually sign in through one of those platforms and then just start configuring everything. There's also the dashboard. The dashboard is actually going to be right here. So you click on it and it'll take you directly to everything that you've just set up with Streamlabs as far as your account linking and everything. It'll take you to your settings, your account settings. It's going to take you to, your alert box. You've got your cloud bot. So for me, I do, for example, I don't use hardly anything on here except for you'll see right here, link protection and word protections. You know, it's okay every now and then to say certain bad words or whatever in your stream. But for me, I like to keep it a healthy dose. And I don't like my chats being spammed with bots or anything like that, or links that go somewhere, because people put malicious things in links, and I just don't like my viewers to have to go through all that rigmarole, let alone myself. So forgive me. I was about to have a moment. I actually set up all of my custom commands here, and it's going to be very helpful because I have a Stream Deck. So if I do custom commands like this, I've actually just set it up to this word here, and it'll put all of this here. So me as a streamer, I get to post those things. I can actually set up custom commands for my viewers. I'll show you. I can do it for my moderators, my subscribers, and my regular people who like to come and watch me every time I do go live. But you can do a lot of things here. Personally, CloudBot is like my best friend when it comes to posting things without me doing the clicky-clacky on my keyboard. But alert box is another thing. People want to know how to do alerts. You're actually going to come here, and this is going to be your custom alert widget. It's a URL. You would copy it, and you would basically set it up like a browser widget in your Streamlabs or OBS. And in this case, my widget is right here. And if I were to, for example, replay Bitter Lion's cheered bits here, it should pop up right here, and you're able to see that. You might actually see it double on your recording there that I'm posting. So I have social pop-ups as well. Oh, look at that. It popped up in a chat. And yeah, I modified my chat to look pretty. That's thanks to the VBI stuff, actually, with Elgato and Corsair. So they have some really cool things if you want to look at them. They do a lot of really cool emotes and I want to say overlays, not just for your webcam and stuff. But all right, let's go ahead and jump into it. How do I turn this off again? Oh yeah, my chat. Duh. Okay, so that's pretty much the cool thing about using Streamlabs is instead of using stream labels, and I'll pull that up to show you what I'm talking about. This is basically a mini feed right here of stream labels. So you're able to see all of your progress on, oh, wow. Oh, thank you all for who have gifted subs. You guys rock. But anyways, let's get over here. So stream labels is pretty much everything I just showed you right here. It tells me who my recent followers or subscribers are. And instead of me having to have a separate program while running OBS, it's all baked into Streamlabs. The reason why I want to talk about these things is because a lot of people don't know the difference between OBS, which is a very vanilla, blank template program for recording, versus Streamlabs OBS. And Streamlabs OBS is tailored towards streamers. You can still record in it just like you do with OBS. It's pretty much OBS. It's just that there's a lot of enhanced features for streamers. And it can be from streaming video games. It could be from streaming in real life things. You know, there's a lot of people who do a lot of amazing things with this program. And we're going to go ahead and talk about the other features here. So the next thing is going to be settings, streaming services. Here's, oh, I guess mine didn't save it. So you can use recommended settings. You can log in through Twitch or Facebook or YouTube, and it'll pre-configure all of those settings for you. Oh, I thought oh yeah, there was another one. So if you want to add a destination, you have to buy Prime, and that's usually like I want to say whatever additional social media platform it permits you to connect to, aside from those 3 that you're usually logged into. But here's another one, the recommended settings, or you can go to whichever one. So some people do what I used to do, which is multi-stream. So it's called Restream, right? That's the one I used to use. So I would have to put my information in there, and then it would stream to all of my social medias that I did between YouTube, Facebook, and at one point Mixer, as well as Twitch. So once I became a Twitch affiliate, I decided that the streaming platform I wanted to stay with, that I was happy with my community and my environment, was Twitch. Although Restream gave me the benefits of testing out which platforms I enjoyed streaming on. And I've learned that the platform that I like making content creation on is actually YouTube. So this is why I talk about certain programs, certain software, things that, you know, are pretty interesting to learn if you're a first time setting up using I want to say a streaming or a recording service for what you want to do, content you want to create. All right, let's get back to it. So let's go to output. It's very similar to OBS in the video I did previously. So my hardware encoder is going to be the NVNC new. And I'm going to have enforced streaming service encoder settings. It's going to always be CBR. And mine was actually at 6,000, but you know what? We'll just keep it at 2,500, which is fine. But you want to make sure your keyframe interval is always going to be 2. All right, so my preset is going to be quality. My profile is going to be high. I don't need psychovisual tuning, but you can select it if you want. I'm actually going to fix that real quick because I like to have my bitrate at 6,000. All right, so if you have a GPU, a graphics card, that's what a GPU is. The 0 is default, so it's your first PCIe slot. Your second one, it would be number 1 if you have a second graphics card. I believe it only does 2, but I only have 1. Mine is an eGPU with an NVIDIA 2080 Ti. Your max B frames is always going to be 2, so you want to make sure that's configured correctly. Your recordings. So again, as in OBS, I've always had a specific place where I like to save my videos when I'm recording. So this is my external hard drive right here, and this is where I want my videos saved. So if I'm recording, my video is going to go there. I know where to look. If you want to just do one audio track, or if you want to have a whole bunch of audio tracks coming in through your stream, depending on if you're using Wavelink or not, I don't think Wavelink permits you to do separate audio tracks yet. I would love that as a feature. But it is only one track for me because I'm literally using Wavelink right here for my stream. And that's basically going to route all of my audio needs. All right, so let's go ahead and jump over to, here we go, recording. Recording is going to be the same. Change my bitrate again. And then my keyframe intervals is 2. My quality, my preset is high, profile high, because I do the same thing when I do my recording. My max B frames are 2. My audio. So these are all the tracks. I don't mess with this. I don't need to. You can enable replay buffer if you want, or disable it. I'm going to leave it enabled because that's how Streamlabs actually set it up for me. All right, so let's go ahead and jump to audio. Now, if you're like me and you're using Wavelink here, because it'll tell you Wavelink stream, if you're using Wavelink, you want to make sure that you're selecting stream for your default audio, which is right here, mic auxiliary device 1. That is Wavelink stream. Make sure that that's selected. When you're using Streamlabs, you want to make sure your sample rate is 44.1 kHz. If you keep it at 48 kHz, it's not going to work. So that's something that's actually on the Elgato website as well. So make sure you drop it down to 44.1. All right, so desktop audio device. It can go to default, or you can set it up if you're like me and you have Wavelink. That's if you wanted to do like a separate audio route. I don't need to because, as I mentioned, Wavelink does it all for me. And you're able to see where I have things routed. So here's my Discord, there's my microphone. This is for gaming. Aux1 is also for gaming, just for the games that don't come through here. And as I mentioned, there's Minecraft, there's Grand Theft Auto 5. There's a few games that don't show up on game, even though it's configured here. It still doesn't, so that's why I have Aux1 as my default. There's also my music channel, there's also my systems, and my browser. So you'll see that these are muted, which means that they're not ever going to come through the stream. I every now and then do use this for Dead by Daylight, but all of these will come through. Not only that, my alerts come through here, so my stream will still hear the alerts. All right, so, oh, you know what? I meant to move that to the other screen. Hold on, y'all. Now I just gotta wait for it to pop open. There we go. All right. So your mic auxiliary device 1 should be whichever your primary mic is. If you have more than one microphone and you don't use Wavelink, you can set it up this way as well. So there's 3 inputs that you can add for microphones, but no more than 3. We're going to go to video. So my base canvas is 1080p. So my base canvas and my output is the same. Your downscale filter should be Lankos. Your FPS type, common. And then your common FPS values should be 60. Oh my god, I'm getting tongue-tied, y'all. I'm sorry. I've been talking all day. And same thing here with hotkeys. So just like in OBS, there's a hotkey section. And now you're able to do that here in Streamlabs. So you can configure these hotkeys to do whatever you want to do here in Streamlabs if you don't have a Stream Deck. You can even do this, for example, I have scenes. You can actually set up hotkeys for your scenes to make this so much easier. I think Streamlabs OBS actually did the hotkey section a lot easier than regular OBS, but for me, it's irrelevant because I actually do have a Stream Deck set up to have not just OBS, but also Streamlabs OBS's configuration as well. So we're just going to go ahead and jump over to Advanced. All right, so general, my processing priority is going to be high. My color format is NV12. This should be 709 in full. Most newer TVs, the YUV color space is now 709. 601 will work, but I keep mine at 709 because it's actually what most current standard ones are now. Previous to, I want to say, I forget if it was 2019 or 2018, I think they were at 601, but a lot of the colors have changed, and majority of the newer ones are at 709. So I keep mine at 709. I don't think anybody's had any issues viewing the colors. So we're good. Let's move on. Audio. So same thing like in OBS. Now Streamlabs OBS has an audio section here directly under Advanced. On the audio monitoring device, I want to hear, you know, everything coming through my headphones. So I'm going to select my Razer Neri Game. Alrighty, so recording. You can put whatever format you want for your thing to come through. Replay buffer, if you're doing replay, then it'll buffer whatever you want it to be. Stream delay. If I want a stream delay, I can enable it, but then that means that I won't be interacting real time as close to I can with you all. And usually I think there's like a 10-second delay between my stream and your viewing. All right, so automatically reconnect. I do have this enabled in case the internet ever does drop on me. It is recommended to do so. And so here we go, network again. I keep mine to default. You all don't need to see my IP address. That's something you want to keep private. Think of it like your online social security number. You don't want to share it. And yes, they do recycle over time, but you still don't want to share that with anybody. Here we go. So dynamically change bitrate when dropping frames while streaming. I do that so that way my internet can adjust accordingly so my stream doesn't die so quickly. Every now and then it does drop down to 0. That depends on the internet service provider. When they're having a good day, this doesn't happen, but when they are dropping it, it does drop down to 0. All right, so sources, enable browse source hardware acceleration. I have mine enabled. It came like that, and I'm fine with it that way. Media files. Enable media file caching. Why not? All right, scene selections. So this feature is intended for overlay designers who export their work from our theme store. Not all sources will be exported. Use at your own risk. You can export them, but there's also actual files inside of Streamlabs where if you've already saved them here, you can actually go and access them as a hard copy. It's really not necessary because everything is backed up to the cloud. But if you wanted to do that, you technically could export your overlays. Alrighty, so we're gonna go to notifications, enable notifications, detect skipped frames, detect dropped frames. This is automatic. I've never played with this. I can disable it if I want, but I think I like the option of notifications, so I'm just gonna leave it. Why not? Appearance. Now, if you're like me and you like everything dark, you want to come to here and you want to change it to night. But if you like the bright screens, hey, more power to you. Keep it bright. I'm going to select night because I have sensitive eyes. All right, so scene item selection mode. Double click, select groups, single click, select items. I've never had to use this. But enable better TV emotes for Twitch. Yes. Enable franker face these emotes for Twitch. Yeah. So this is for like the webcam thing. We're going to get there. Don't show this code on stream. Click to reveal the code. I'm not going to click to reveal it. But this is pretty much like controlling Streamlabs OBS through a tablet or a phone. If I want to install a virtual cam, I can do this. It says the virtual cam allows you to display your scenes from Streamlabs OBS and video conferencing software. Streamlabs OBS will appear as a webcam that can be selected in most video conferencing apps. So I could technically still navigate my whole OBS thing and actually stream it to something like it's a webcam, which I think is really neat. I haven't figured out how to do it yet though. All right, game overlays. If I wanted to enable the game overlay, I could, but I don't. And that's usually like, I guess, for PC gaming, right? The in-game overlay is a new experimental feature that allows you to view and chat events overlaid. Oh, it allows you to view it. Not necessary. I like to see it here anyways. So that's pretty much the configuration for Streamlabs. But if you've seen my video on how to set up scenes, then you already know what you're doing. But we're actually going to go to a clean slate here. So, no, that's not what I'm looking for. We're going to go to manage. Can I do a new one? I thought I could do a new one. Darn. All right. Add a new scene. Please enter the name. I don't know. Why don't we just call this test? Oh, here we go. Aw, I thought it was going to let me do the add. I remember there used to be like an add or a minus button. Oh, y'all, I had a moment. Okay, here we go. So this is what we're going to call it. We're going to call it test. And we're going to select check mark. And so this is going to be our active one, our vanilla scene here. Let me go back to any and remove that one. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it. I right click to do it, or you can click the minus button to do it. So let's go ahead and go to test. And I'm just going to basically show you how to set up your Elgato, set up everything else. All right, so scene. We're just going to leave this as scene because I'm just basically showing you a quick rundown of how to set things up. So from here, there's sources. You can do an image, a browser source. The browser source is like the widgets that I was talking about. So if I were to click on this and I wanted to add a widget, I would want to add my widget here. But Streamlabs is actually a little more fun. You can actually just click on your alert box, add your source, and it'll actually do it for you. And you can select all of these things on how you want it to come through and select done. Now, if you wanted to test out your alert box, you could do that. In this case, I'm not going to leave the alert box there. I'm actually going to remove it. So for me, I don't need the alert box. I already have my things configured the way that I want, but that's just for you. So if you don't know how to do it and you're using Streamlabs, these are all the widgets. So the browser source that I showed you all isn't even necessary to do from the source here if you're using Streamlabs OBS. You can actually set up your alert box here. You can set up your follower goal, your ticker, your event list, your viewer count. Viewer count, honestly, I used to use this, and I think it put me in a stressful mindset. I was like, oh, okay, there's only a certain amount of people watching on certain streams when I was multi-streaming, so I could keep track of it. But over time, I kind of phased it out because for me, I was having more fun not worrying about the numbers. All right, so credits. You can actually roll your credits. If you have a sponsor, you want to do a sponsor banner, you can do that. If you have a subscription goal that you're trying to reach, you can actually set that up too. You can do a stream label. Stream labels are going to be like a little grid or something that you can do and set them up a certain way or configure them. Donation goals. So, if you have a goal that you're working towards and you're hoping people will provide a donation, there's actually a little widget that you can set it up that way. There's a bit goal. So if you're trying to meet a specific quota per week or something, or per stream, you can set up a bit goal. You can add your chat box. I did all of this through browser sorts because I used OBS before coming over to Streamlabs OBS. But yes, you can actually select your chat box. Let's add it as a source. All right. And it'll add it right here. So if you're wanting to test out your chat box, let's go ahead and type in, okay, you got it. I have rules, y'all. All right, here we go. And there you go. There's my little, chat box there. So, as a matter of fact, I'm going to clear out my chat real quick. All right. That way, in case somebody's like watching my channel or something, they're like, what's going on in the chat? Nothing. It's a test. It's a test, y'all. All right, so I can actually remove that. So if you want to remove it, as I mentioned, one way or another, you can right click and remove, or you can just hit this right here. So let's get down into adding, oh, there's more. So there's the jar, which is, I think it's a jar that people do the tips or whatever, and then you can empty it. There's the Stream Boss. It's a little mini game that you can do on stream. Spin the wheel. That's pretty popular. Media share, and then Streamlabs charity goal, and your instant replay. So this is actually really cool because OBS, you have to actually do a plugin. On Streamlabs OBS, instant replay is already there, and you can even loop it. And I'm gonna remove it because I don't need it. I don't ever do replays on mine. Now, if I did something really gnarly, I'll probably just clip it or highlight it and show it off. All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. Game capture. It even says game capture here. So this is how they know that this is going to be my game capture device. So I'm going to name it game capture, right? And it's going to ask me to select. Oh, looking for a game. Oh, wait. This is not the right one. Okay, so this is like an app. For example, there's a lot of emulators out there, or you could do like an actual game that you're running on your PC and do a game capture that way. But it doesn't always work. Or you could do a display capture. So in this case, it's going to be directly what I was thinking it was going to be, which is video capture device. I was hesitant on the game capture, y'all. So video capture device, because that's where our game is, our Elgato is going to be. So here's our game capture HD60S Plus. That's the one I use. Now it's going to say resolution as FPS type. I'm going to say with default device. And it's going to be resolution, my base. It's going to say match output FPS, video format, color space. I'm going to drop it down to 709. Color range, I'm going to put full. And it's because my consoles are set up that way. Buffering, auto detect, or enable or disable. We'll leave it as auto detect. We don't really need to do too much with it. We're going to select done. Now, oh, I don't have my switch in here to do it. But it would be pretty much set up this way. Oh yeah, desktop audio needs to go. All right, so this is where my Elgato would be, where it says video capture device. I'm actually going to mute it because it will actually come through my mic via Wavelink. So everything comes through one source. If you didn't want it that way and you don't have a Wavelink, you can actually just set up your mic and then you can have your game capture here. Let's go back to, here we go, video capture. It says hide in mixer, but if I want to unhide it, I'd come here. So another problem that everybody I'm noticing is still having is they can't hear their game when they set up the game capture. You want to come to monitor and output if you're not using Wavelink. If you're using Wavelink, Wavelink is already running in the background process and open. So you're able to hear everything when you set up your monitoring device directly through Streamlabs. In this case, mine was the Razer Nary game. So if you don't have it set up that way and you're having it just the capture card, you're not using Wavelink, you want to monitor and output. If you have a chat link cable, you want to make sure that your audio is an analog. That's for the people who are doing party chat for the HD60S and the HD60S Plus. I'm not sure about the others because I've not used anything beyond the HD60S Plus. Now, as far as pertaining to the next thing that we're going to talk about is setting up, let's see, your audio. So say you don't have Wavelink, right? But you want to, oh wait, not audio output. But you want to add your microphone. Where is it? Audio input. We're going to go to add source. This will be our microphone. Mine is going to be Wavelink stream, but that's because, again, that's me having Wavelink. Now, if your Elgato capture didn't pull up here, then you would actually select your digital audio interface, your game capture here, and have the audio routed over to your mixer. If not, you would just select your microphone. If it's just your microphone, if your game capture is already here, you would just select whatever your microphone is, and it's going to add your microphone, just like that. But as I mentioned, I don't really have it set up that way because I'm using Wavelink. So Wavelink is, as I mentioned, you want to make sure that you have your audio at 44.1. And that's pretty much going to be it to set up just the capture card, your microphone, if you're using Wavelink, and the overall setup for Streamlabs OBS, and the widgets that you get to play around with. So if you wanted to do the browser sources that you see on their dashboard, you actually can just do them all right here. If you need to do anything outside of that, for example, if you wanted to do your Discord widget, and in my case, I'll pull up the one that I have here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I use, here we go, a StreamKit overlay. Because some of you all want to know how to get your voice chat widgets showing up. I usually will show speaking users only. I like my avatar to be big. If I wanted to hide their name, I could, but I want to see their name. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. We're going to add source. It's going to ask me for the URL. Essentially, you kind of want to copy whatever is on their kit there, but it's going to add that source. Now, if I were to go into my Discord and I was to highlight whatever it is I'm saying, I'm going to turn on my headset so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, so let me unmute my mic. And you're going to be able to see that I'm talking through my Discord, and you're able to see up here on the top that my name is popping up. That's a widget for Discord for my voice channel. And that's a browser source. So there's a lot of different widgets. Just keep in mind, you can do and set them up however you prefer. If you're wanting to see the link for the Discord StreamKit overlay, I'm happy to post that in the video when this is done. I hope this has helped you configure doing Streamlabs OBS. Again, it is pretty identical to OBS, except that it has a lot of baked-in features for streamers. Whether you're streaming in real life, you're streaming a video game, you're talking about certain things live, this is very, very beneficial to have. I love the program, and I'm going to talk about a couple of other things here. So what we were looking at right here is our main source. These are the little extras that I'm talking about. The alert box. You can actually choose any of these if you're a Prime member, and you're able to set up your alert box with a custom theme. There's also custom themes. So if you're looking for a specific overlay and you want to set something up, oh wow, bubbles. You had me at bubbles. Let's look at this. Let's see how cool this looks. So this is basically telling you the transition. So we just saw the stringer for it, or the stinger. We're seeing how the starting scene looks, the be right back, the way that it transitions from one scene to the next. And we're able to see what the little alerts are going to look like. We're able to see their intermission screen, and the offline is always going to be a static. But this is pretty neat. It's a static image. I'm sorry, that's what I was trying to say. But this is pretty neat. You know, you're able to come in here, choose a custom theme. If you want to go back to the listing, you can see it. But this is all Prime. I think it's like 20 something a month. And you do save more money if you do it on a yearly subscription. But if I like an overlay enough, rather than going here, me personally, I will go and support the person who created it by purchasing the stream package. And I have done that with Nerd or Die because I actually do have this. And I love this. I just love the way it looks. I'll show you all. Oh, they don't have the little video thingy of how it works? Oh, that's too bad. I wonder if this is just static on here. Anyways, there's one that's animated and it's really cool. But there's a lot of these that you can choose from. So just keep that in mind. The other thing is if you do choose Prime, you're able to do like your custom URL. They do let you choose it. You're able to set up a tip page. You're able to set up a little website with your streaming stuff. And you can actually like put that on your, I guess, profile or something. And it'll have your viewers go there and view your stream on the particular web page. But hopefully this has helped you decide if you want to use OBS or Streamlabs OBS. If you're wanting to do all of the fancy things with the overlays, the widgets and stuff, and do it at an ease, I definitely recommend using Streamlabs OBS. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Thank you all for tuning in and watching the video, and you all have a wonderful evening. Oh, and if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Good night, everyone. See you next video. Also, I hope y'all are excited as much as I am about the Elgato products coming out tomorrow. Good night, everybody.